On today's episode of Time About the Movies, we have the fourth installment of the Paranormal Activity series, which is the one that essentially kind of ended up killing the series in general. We'll take a look at Paranormal Activity 4. We'll also take a look at Tyler Perry as Alex Cross, and we'll also take a look at John Hawkes, who plays a paraplegic man who wants to feel the power of sex, and the only person that can help him out is Helen Hunt in the sessions. We'll take a look at these three movies today, October 19th, 2012, Time About the Movies. The show begin.
Hunter.
Aunt Katie brought you a present, Hunter.
All this weird stuff's been happening since the new neighbors moved in. It's the new kid from across the street.
That's really weird.
Tell me what's going on. You'll find out. Katie?
Paranormal Activity 4. Read it all. In theaters October 19th.
And welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the three films that make up October 19th, 2012. And of course we're beginning with the biggest new release of the weekend, Paranormal Activity 4. You know, Paranormal Activity came out 3 years ago. Essentially, you know, became the new Saw, where everybody went to the theater to see what new crazy antics were going to take place in every movie. But hard to believe that it only took 4 movies for the novelty to die out pretty quickly with this one. Because, yeah, this one is definitely the worst of the series up to this point. But trust me, it'll get worse after that. But the story takes place in 2011, 5 years after Katie killed her boyfriend Micah, sister Christy, her husband Daniel, and took their baby Hunter. The story focuses on Alex, played by Catherine Newton, and her family experiencing weird stuff since the new neighbors moved into town. And I think you can figure out where exactly this is going to go from here. And, you know, this is one where the biggest problem with this movie in particular is that it doesn't take any chances, unlike the last two Paranormal Activity movies did. They expanded the story. They gave you new creative ways to be scary. This one really felt like they were pushing their luck big time. I mean, a killer Xbox is in this movie. Not even a killer Xbox, but a killer Xbox camera. Like, that's the level of stupidity we've come to with this movie. And really, another big problem with it is that it's trying way too hard to connect back to the original Paranormal Activity movie. It's just kind of like, come on, man. It's just like, you know, after 3 films, the story should be over. Focus on something else. But nope. This is going to continue on and on and on, because every movie of the Paranormal Activity series is connected by the first film. And this one makes little sense whatsoever. And literally, you don't feel for anybody in here, because everybody gets killed off by the end of it. And it's just like, the movie doesn't give a shit. It's just like, here we go again. Like, you know, it's just like, there's nothing there in here. There's no scary elements to it. There's nothing about it that makes it cool or impressive whatsoever. Like, they even opened the door for another Paranormal Activity movie, the next one, The Marked Ones, which is actually a spin-off film. It was Xbox Connect, by the way, not Xbox Camera, but the Xbox Connect was the thing that they used in this. But, you know, the next one, Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, is supposed to be a spin-off of Paranormal Activity, but no, it turns out it's actually what happens when it connects back to the ending of Paranormal Activity. Like, I mean, you get the point here? Trying to connect these together is so ridiculous, because they try to connect everything back to the original movie, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because even when they do that with the Marked Ones, they do it again with the last film, The Ghost Dimension, and they continue to just fuck it up even more. They took a series that started off so promisingly with the first 3 movies, and they have just completely tarnished it with every passing film that comes after part 3. I mean, this one definitely is the worst of the 4 we've looked at, and it's going to get worse from this point going forward, because just the ways they keep trying to connect this back to every single Paranormal Activity film. Like, every one of these movies has to connect back to the first film, and once you do that, that shit gets old really, really fast. And this one got old really, really quickly. So you get the point. Paranormal Activity 4, really, really bad. Definitely the worst of the films we've looked at so far. And it's going to get worse from here, folks. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of things that get worse from here, new Alex Cross movie's out. Well, how bad can it be? It's Tyler Perry starring as Alex Cross. Okay, that's a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, and Rob Cohen is directing it. You know, the guy that did Triple X. Just like, what?
The #1 author of Kiss the Girls. Alex Cross is an emotional powerhouse that will keep you on edge.
Detective Cross,
You have a very pretty wife. It's Tyler Perry like you've never seen him before.
time to deliver some justice.
Best villain of the year, Matthew Fox.
You're taking this personally.
It's a must-see. Alex Cross, rated PG-13, in theaters Friday.
Okay. Those quotes. An emotional powerhouse. You know, when I think of Alex Cross from the other movies in the series, the first thing that doesn't come to my mind is an emotional powerhouse that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I mean, sometimes along, you know, Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider did at least keep you on the edge of your seat, but neither one of those movies was an emotional powerhouse. Also, Tyler Perry like you've never seen him before. He's out of the Medea makeup. I've pretty much seen him do that in other films. But the cherry on top of this, the best villain of the year, Matthew Fox. Oh my god. What is this stupid marketing campaign? I am shocked that Sean Edwards' name was nowhere to be found on this, because you know he would have been the one making these quotes, and his name was nowhere to be found on there. So I find that very hard to believe that Sean Edwards didn't even praise this movie here, which he probably would have, but yeah, let's talk about Tyler Perry's attempt to try to branch out of his Medea routine for Alex Cross. So Tyler Perry plays Dr. Alex Cross on his last police duty to track down an assassin called Picasso, played by Matthew Fox, who's been torturing and killing rich businessmen in Detroit. Soon when the mission gets personal, Cross is pushed to the edge of his moral and psychological limits to end this once and for all. Well, he did accomplish one thing. This series ended once and for all because of how stupid this decision was. Look, I'll give Tyler Perry credit for trying to do something outside of his norm. I mean, it's a noble effort. And he's not a bad choice to play Alex Cross, but you're filling the shoes of Morgan Freeman. You have to get somebody who's about half as good as him, and Tyler Perry ain't nowhere near as good as Morgan Freeman is. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but it's just the cold hard truth here. Second of all, Matthew Fox is not threatening whatsoever. I mean, the guy had a bright future ahead of him after Lost ended with Speed Racer and Vantage Point, and then he just kind of disappeared out of thin air, and all of a sudden he's back in the spotlight with this. He's not threatening in this movie. I mean, it's got a good cast overall. Edward Burns, Rachel Nichols, Cicely Tyson, Giancarlo Esposito, Carmen Ejogo, John C. McGinley, John Reno. A lot of good talent involved in this. The biggest problem to me is the writing and the direction, and the fact that this feels more like a TV pilot than an actual movie. Yeah, this feels like a film that is quite literally on the levels of something like, you know, this is a movie that feels like it should have been a CBS TV pilot or an NBC TV pilot. It doesn't feel like a movie that feels like it should be what it's supposed to be with this. I mean, Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider are not great movies, but they're at least trying to do something unique and different from the books overall. And the people who hated those movies because they were nothing like the books probably wanted to give Morgan Freeman a sincere apology for saying that, because, yeah, this movie definitely is a pale imitation of the James Patterson books. I mean, this movie is atrociously terrible. I mean, my God. The threat is not threatening here. The action isn't all that good. Tyler Perry just can't hold a cheese plate to Morgan Freeman's Alex Cross. It just doesn't work. It's a movie that flops on so many levels, and it's a reason why we never saw another one of these movies, even though they were going to make another one, but it bombed so hard at the box office, and nobody wanted to go see it, so guess what, Tyler Perry? You're going back to the Medea costume for the rest of your career. So with all that said, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie that we have here. John Hawkes, Helen Hunt, and William H. Macy in The Sessions.
Like me to hear your confession?
My penis speaks to me, Father. This therapist suggested a sex surrogate.
Go for it. Really?
Critics are raving about The Sessions.
First session, he was extremely nervous.
Think about something else.
Baseball, for example.
I mean, like, hope I make it to second base?
4 stars. It's hilarious.
Shall we get undressed?
Sure.
And destined to be a player at the Academy Awards.
I can get pretty kinky. Am I sharing too much, Father? Go on.
The Sessions. Rated R. October 19th.
So in the story, you've got a man who's paralyzed from the neck down due to polio, so he hires a sex surrogate to lose his virginity, and that person is Helen Hunt, and John Hawkes is the poet here that is paralyzed from the neck down. I mean, he's got the dream position, man. I mean, he's paralyzed and he hasn't had sex, so he gets to have a surrogate played by Helen Hunt be the person that actually tries to make him lose his virginity. It's just like, who wouldn't want to be in that situation overall? I mean, Helen Hunt's still pretty sexy after all these years, even though, Bad About You was over 30 years ago, but, like, she's still looking pretty good, nearing her 50s. I think she's either late 50s or early 60s. Early 60s, 62 years old. I mean, she doesn't look bad for 62 years old, but this was a movie that, was a big Oscar contender overall. It only ended up getting an Oscar nomination for Helen Hunt because she had won before for As Good as It Gets. But this is actually not a bad movie. It's a pretty entertaining film, a quirky little idea here with a really good cast that includes a strong performance by John Hawkes coming off his success with Winter's Bone. I mean, you could never go wrong with Helen Hunt and William H. Macy, Moon Bloodgood, Adam Arkin, Rhea Perlman, W. Earl Brown. So a lot of really good talent involved in this here, and it's a really light breeze watch of a movie. And it's only about an hour and a half long, but it really does make you want to see more of the storyline here. But I mean, it does a good. Even then, it does a good job of kind of containing it down to one film. And by the time it begins, it runs through pretty quickly. Like, you get out of there within like an hour and a half, and you didn't realize that wow, that movie was relatively short, and I kind of want to see more of this. But hey, they did a good job what they had to work with here. This is a really good movie. It's one that not a lot of people really talk about all that much, but it's definitely one I would definitely recommend checking out. Check out The Sessions. It's definitely a film that. If you like John Hawkes, if you like Helen Hunt, if you like William H. Macy, this is a movie that's right up your alley. I think it's a very underrated film. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. The Sessions, definitely check it out. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies, and oh god. I thought we were past the dumping ground months, but apparently the end of October 2012 was another dumping month because, my god, the movies we have on this list here, they're all pretty bad. We have Tom Hanks and Halle Berry in a new film from the Wachowskis, Cloud Atlas. We have the sequel nobody was asking for Silent Hill Revelation. We have Victoria Justice making her big screen debut in what should be a fun comedy, but it's not. Fun Size, which is definitely no fun in this size, but you even want to call it. I don't even know what that criticism was. I'm sorry for that, but Gerard Butler's got a new movie, Chasing Mavericks, and considering the movies that we have before that, and that might actually be the best movie we have this week, but we will get through all those movies. That'll be tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.